You already know what it is. It's your boy Melly Mel of 806 The Show, and we're here for another edition of Sunday Conversation with a very special guest. Somehow, some way, I found him here in America, which is, if you know this guy, it's hard to do. It's hard to get this guy grounded. Travel media content creator. Make some noise for Kevin Sandoval, everybody.
Thank you for having me, Bob, and I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Found time in your busy schedule to stop by the studio.
I was saying it's been years since we got a chance to catch up, and it's been a minute trying to get this together. So I'm excited to finally be over here.
The best ones are usually the ones you got to work for a little bit.
I was busy, man, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing,
Absolutely. So it's Sunday morning. Sunday morning is usually the only time I get to have like breakfast, really, like a real breakfast. Because usually it's like I'm a banana yogurt out the door kind of guy. So what's your, if you have a Sunday morning you get to sleep in, which I'm sure you don't get to sleep in a lot with your busy schedule, what do you have in Sunday morning?
Man, for me, I'm definitely a bottomless mimosa kind of guy, man. So wherever there's like a bottomless mimosa deal going on, I'm there. Obviously, I work with a lot of restaurants and stuff, so I try to definitely kind of reach out to those places and connect with them for Sunday mornings and make sure that people get a chance to know where everything's at, so that if they do have some time on a Sunday morning, they can get out,
Yeah, it's funny you said it, because I was going to obviously head into the traveling, but might as well, start with Boston and start the hometown. Like you said, you have these connections with these restaurants. So if I'm like waking up, which usually, estamos viejos ya. Usually I'm not really outside anymore. I know, which is crazy. There's a lot of people who know me for being really outside in a decade. I'm retired. I'm happily retired. But if I wanted to, check out a Sunday brunch spot in Boston or even around here, even in the North Shore area, what's some places you would probably recommend?
One of the spots I always recommend to anybody whenever they're coming to visit Boston, or whether they're from the area or not, is Estella. They're Estella, and they're right next to the Common, and I just like them because they're a vibe. City? It's right in Boston. Okay. It's a train station. It's a quick train ride away from Wonderland, so it's a great spot for you to go and hang out. If you want to make a day out of it, the Common is right next to it. Around here, I haven't been to Stephanie's on.
Stephanie's. So Lawrence
to the people at Stephanie's, if you see this, let's connect, because I've been hearing a lot of really great things.
Listen, I haven't had the pleasure, because it's again, I'm old, and I see the IG clips and the reels, and it looks, when you're old when you look at a clip like, it looks loud in there.
I feel like damn, Monday I gotta go to work on Monday, and it's Sunday all day. You know what I mean?
It's tough, but thank God. When I used to party out and used to be out, I don't think brunch was really like a thing like that.
It wasn't, huh?
Thank you I think it's because the party people got older. It was like, I can't be doing this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I remember when I was out with Johnny, we'd have a Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. I'm like,
It's because, I've noticed that I'm actually glad that it's something that has kind of started or gotten recognized a lot more here in the area. It's because it's something that's popular in other cities. A brunch is something that's super popular in other cities, like Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Miami, New York even. So I'm glad that there's finally some spaces here that we can go to and check out. But I got to take it easy on Sundays, man, because Monday takes me at least 24 hours to recover.
Everybody says you make... The thing is, our people, I'll say Dominicans. I rag on Dominicans a lot, but listen, sometimes we deserve to get ragged on, even though I'm proud. I'm very proud, but like everybody has their flaws. And it's like brunch is supposed to be 11 a.m. to 3. Stephanie's brunch don't start till 3. I'm gonna let you know right now. That's just not till 3, and it's not any club thing is not popping till 6 o'clock.
It's like more like lunch, dinner.
Yeah, so it's like a brunch is not a brunch.
You're there all day,
Yeah, so people are like, at least you can get drunk during the day. And I'm like, but you're going home at 10, 11 o'clock. Like, you partied all day. But Stephanie's is definitely, shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure. Let's
definitely
connect.
a spot that seems to be popular. I think they have the themes. I see a Bad Bunny theme.
You know what's another good one too? April's. You been to April's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, April's is a good one too. I like them because they usually serve breakfast later into the day too. So,
I love April's.
So I usually go to either the one down in Lynn or the one right here on Highland Ave.
Yeah, my co-host Reg from 806 The Show goes, I believe. I don't know if I want to say this because now our millions of fans are gonna know exactly where to find him for breakfast. But he usually goes. If you ever go to April's on a Sunday morning, you can catch my man just sitting at the counter with a steak and eggs, just unwinding.
Damn, but now that you mentioned Sunday mornings and breakfast in the same conversation, one place that I recall spending a lot of Sunday mornings is Dev's Diner.
Oh, see, but you say Sunday mornings, but you mean Sunday morning as in like Saturday night, 1 in the morning to 3 in the morning.
Sunday mornings.
It is Sunday morning. Oh my God.
That was back in the day.
And the funny thing is, like, you wouldn't have no idea who you would run into the most random people.
Or nobody.
Well, yeah, or nobody. The thing about Dev's Diner, it was always packed. You showing my age. See how I'm starting to say that? I'm showing my age. Like my Gary knows, como papaillo, like a great grandfather used to say, we're showing our age sitting like this. I lost track. What was I talking about? What was I going?
Your age, showing your age.
Before that, definitely the old age is showing it because I forget what I was talking about. Brunches. I don't know. It just escaped my head.
Oh, damn.
Dev's Diner. The funny thing is, it was always packed, right? But there was always a seat for you, though.
Always.
You know what I mean? I don't remember a lot of times you go there and you be waiting to get served. It's always popping, but somehow there'll be one booth like they knew you were coming.
Is it still Dev's Diner?
I believe they got bought out like many things.
I mean, is it still the same? Like, I mean,
I don't know exactly. I mean, I think it's just still a diner, a breakfast spot.
That's dope.
But that's definitely.
There's actually a couple of new spots here in Salem that I want to check out pretty soon too. So I'm gonna come and spend some time here in Salem because I know that there's been like some revamping and stuff like that.
There's been a lot of good stuff. I think that restaurant Vivery changed the one on the corner there.
Yeah, there's actually a Dominican guy that he's on. I feel like he's like next to like Ace Hardware. Or where the hardware store used to be, so that's a spot to check out if you're ever looking for a new spot.
Salem's there's always little things, and it's funny because like when you think of Salem, obviously you think of all the Halloween stuff and all the tourist stuff, condos, little wink wink. But I don't know if it's really known as a food spot, like a foodie spot.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you mentioned that. So I'm gonna be working with a couple of businesses down here in Salem to kind of highlight some spots to check out outside of like the Halloween kind of season because I feel like there is a lot to see, especially having to train for people that come to visit. I have a lot of friends that come out of state to visit and think that they can only come to Massachusetts or to Salem during the holiday season, or during Halloween. Yeah. So there's a ton that you could do out here, and Salem is actually a really big foodie spot. There's a lot of not a lot of breweries, but there's a couple of places for you to have some brews here. And I mean, it's changed a lot, so it's definitely a destination that I always recommend to people to come check out, whenever they're visiting. So
absolutely. All right, like you say, you're a travel guy, so let's go. We're just gonna go through continent to continent, bro. I think that's like honestly, like before we even get on, this is a popular question. Like at the end of every podcast, we have something called both cassette of questions. We'd ask you random questions. You either choose one or the other one. Cool. And a common question that I always ask is when you're on a flight, window or aisle?
Window for sure.
You're a window guy?
Window always, yeah. Window. I tend to not get up when I'm on the airplane, so I'm always the window because I just, for some reason, love to see, where I'm landing and, the takeoff and the landing.
You're not going to tell me you're the guy, the 6 a.m. flight to JFK. You're the guy opening the window to look at the clouds.
I'm ready, bro. I'm always ready.
There's always, you try to get some sleep. There's always some guy with the window all the way open looking at them like they've never seen clouds before.
Man. No, I just, I feel like it's like a good, like, especially those morning flights. I'm definitely like a morning flight kind of guy. Me too. It's just like, it's just like inspiring in some ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always curious, cautious, if people are, sleeping and stuff like that. But, it's, I just, when I'm, like I landed in Utah the other day, man, and it was like 7 a.m, and those mountains just looked incredible. Like there's no way you can't look at them.
Yeah, I'm like that.
So I mean, I guess it's more not the really taking off; it's more of the landings.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I feel like you'd be a pretty good person to ask. There's some good airports. There's some bad airports.
There is.
In your opinion. Actually, I think you could probably give us a top 3 for all the damn airports you've been at.
Okay.
Give us the worst 3 airports. I'll give my 3. I've been to.
What are your worst 3 airports?
Oh yeah, I'll start off. Number 1, Chicago.
Okay.
O'Hare. I don't know whether a lot of things is like the experience I had on a layover. There. It might have not been just a bad airport, but for me, you caught me at a bad time. I think it was when we're going to Jamaica, and again, we're being cheap. Let's do a layover in Chicago, which I don't understand why we're going to Chicago for going this way. But I'm the passenger.
Whatever.
I'm not the pilot. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm not gonna if I'm sitting co-pilot and my girl's driving, I'm not gonna tell her to take a left or right. You know what I mean?
As long as you get there.
As long as I get there. And I remember just delays, and we'd be like 30 minutes before we're gonna board. Nope, another hour and a half. Nope, another hour and a half. So definitely Chicago, JFK for sure. Jesus Christ. Layover in JFK when you land, you got 45 minutes to take 2 buses, a trolley, you know what I mean? To get to gate. You land in gate 3, your connecting gate is 97. And they're just like, you got to figure it out. You got 40 minutes. JFK, what would be the next one? I think most of the international ones is pretty good that I could think of. Atlanta.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
That was gonna be my number one, but the reason why it's number one is they're actually pretty good when it comes to delays and stuff like that. The reason is because the airport is just huge. And what happens is you'll get to gate 1 and then your connection is 30 minutes away. 30 minutes in between, but then your gate is 45 minutes away and it's at gate 100. You know what I mean? And so then you have to take a train and do all these things to get there, which is what causes a lot of the delays, especially if people don't travel through there that often. They're just kind of like, how the hell am I going to get to my flight? But I definitely would say Atlanta for sure. I'm going to have to go I've been going to Louisiana a lot. So New Orleans airport is...
Never been.
Yeah, New Orleans airport, you have to make sure... So for Boston, one of the things I love about Boston is if you aren't checking any bags, you can pretty much get in and through security in 10 minutes. Yeah. It's really quick to get easy, but if you have bags, you got to check them in. Obviously, that takes a little bit more time, but
if I'm flying, I'm going 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I have a girlfriend, so it doesn't matter for traveling for 2 days to New York. We're checking a goddamn bag every single time. And if furious, I was like, yo, babe, we're going 3 days. You can't just take it on the flight. No, I need the skincare. I need the this. I need the that. I need the that. I need this.
That's how it is.
Trust me. You have global entry?
I have TSA pre-check. I don't have global entry yet.
Kevin, how in the world are you traveling like Carmen Sandiego?
I haven't got
and you
it
don't
yet. Because there's this thing. It's called the mobile passport. Yeah, the mobile passport. I swiftly get through any TSA, any type of customs that I'm coming through. Sometimes actually even faster than the global entry. So since I have the TSA pre-check, I'm waiting for that to expire so then I can get the global entry just to have it because you get them both.
Because I told my girl, I was like, I'm going to leave you in that line. I'm going to leave you in the immigration line. I'm not going to wait. It's funny, that Jamaica trip when I went to, when we stopped in Chicago, on the way back, JFK, customs was wild. Maybe 2.5 hours in jail. Man. Gary and my other cousin had global entry. They got through in 2 minutes. Yep. And they literally went to the restaurant. They were thinking of going to Times Square and getting food and come back.
I just don't know why they do that. They put all the flights coming in at the same time, which is what causes that traffic. Of course. There, you know what I mean? So that's another time where you miss a lot of your flights too.
So after we got through all that mess, I vowed, I think I signed up while I was at the airport.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah, and then I got it from then on. I told my
it's
girl,
worth it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It's worth it for sure. But like I was saying, New Orleans. So in New Orleans, whenever you are, let's say you're getting a car, it's like a good 30 minutes from the airport. Still in the airport, but 30 minutes away. So you're kind of you have to. So if you're returning the car, you have to get there an hour earlier as it is. Now you have to get there 30 minutes before the flight goes through. So I think that's one of the worst airports. And then, so I said Atlanta, New Orleans, and I have to say Miami. Miami International.
I haven't been to Miami in a while.
Yeah, Miami International is just an older airport, so it's still really, it's kind of confusing to get around. And like, for example, my mom, she doesn't really like to make connections, but a lot of the places she wants to go, the connections are in Miami.
Yeah.
So she's kind of had to like learn how to kind of work with it. But like, JFK, it's funny you mentioned that, but JFK, LaGuardia, those are two airports that I've gotten so revamped that anybody that's never flown could easily make it right through without having any issues. It's just, it runs really smooth there. But those three, I would say for sure.
What I tell people, how are you on airport food? Because I tell,
if I have to, I'll do it. But you can bring your own food.
No. Here's my thing. Go for the chains. Go for the Wendy's. Go for the you know what I mean?
Facts.
New York Deli Bistro,
bro.
Probably should skip,
bro.
You know what I mean? Probably should skip.
But they have. I found some really great fried chicken spots that I like. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just try it out and see what happens. I mean, it's $20 a wing, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
I saw when I was at JFK, my brother got you look at a pepperoni pizza and I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, you really want that pizza, bro?
$30 pizza.
Man,
Crazy.
He paid for it. We were going to Miami for the but we landed in Fort Lauderdale. We were going for
smart move.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah.
So much cheaper.
Yeah. Well, we're going for the World Baseball Classic a couple of years ago in Miami, and he almost made me miss the game. My dad's like trying to be, he's not feeling well. We're gonna have to miss the game. I was like, we?
I'm out.
We? That's a grown man. Tell him to lay down or puke and rally. We were outside. I was like, yo, puke and rally. You better puke that out. Get in the car.
Shit.
These tickets ain't cheap. We're playing Venezuela in 30 minutes. Like, we gotta be out. And we don't know where we are. If you never know, we play at the Marlin Stadium, and that's in the middle of Little Haiti. So it's literally like
I think was it 2 years ago that you went?
Yeah, because
my family went a couple of years ago and they freaking had a blast.
It was a fun time, but once you figure out what's going on, you get there. Some dudes like, yo, $100 to park. I'm like, what? Realizing that the garages are free.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that and they'll pay the $100.
The stadium garage is completely free. I was like, yo, we almost paid for that shit. That shit was crazy.
Just really quick before, now that we're kind of in the whole airport thing, did you know that you need a new license, the Real ID now to travel?
Yeah.
So if you guys don't have your Real ID, make sure you guys get that because you are gonna need it for travel.
I know.
Unless you have your passport, but you don't want to, be around with your passport all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got lazy and I didn't. Because when I went to renew it, she go, "You're missing a letter or something." I was like, "Damn." She's like, "You can still get your renewer, but you're just gonna have to come back for your new ID." I was like, "I'll come back." I ain't coming back. I never came back. So I'm going to Fort Lauderdale in May, and I have to bring my passport. Which honestly, I've watched too many movies and TV shows. I bring my passport anyways, just in case some shit happens.
Yeah, unless you got to get out from there. That's true.
You know what I mean? In case I'm like, I need to leave the country real fast.
That's true. That's very true.
Just have it on you. Just put it in your bag, zip it up.
Smart thinking. Smart thinking.
You never know. Not that I'm out here doing stuff that I need to leave country.
But you just never know.
You don't know, man. I've seen a lot of stuff. All right, let's travel.
Let's get it.
Where we going to start first? Let's start.
Let's get it.
Let's go South America.
Let's get it.
Juan, what's your favorite country in South America? I'm sure he's been there. That's where I'm heading at. Did you say Brazil? All right. Let's go with Brazil.
Hey.
Brazil. Somewhere where I almost went. My dad wanted to go for the Olympics a while ago. But like most Dominican fathers promise you something and it's not going to happen. But
been there.
So it was a dream. But tell us about Brazil and your travels there.
Yeah, man. So Brazil was pretty dope. It was a couple years ago. I think it was right after the pandemic. So things were still a little bit kind of like, a little bit,
The resort spot didn't have the swim up bar. That's what happened to me. I was pissed.
Things were they were a little bit more open over there, so I think they were a little bit more liberal, and it was right around like carnival season, so they were opening things up. So it was kind of still getting to normal, but there was still the masks and stuff like that. So there was people wearing masks, but that was dope because I got a chance to really connect with the people of like they're called the favelas. Yeah. So the favelas are it's pretty much just like the hood. That's where it's, usually, I mean, I guess, to tell you something about Brazil, I guess Brazil wants at least that part of Rio to kind of remain like that. Like, so they don't want tourists to really go in there. But something over the past couple of years that has happened is there's more and more people going to explore, and so obviously they're changing their ways. So that was really insightful to see that. It was crazy. But then Brazil also has its like nightlife. So obviously it's a great time. I speaking Spanish, you think that we can understand them because we.
No. I made a mistake. I used to work at Walgreens.
Yeah,
Portuguese is it's not the same.
No. It's well, I mean, sometimes here you can understand them a little bit more because they're Americanized. But over there, that was one of the hardest things for me was the language barrier. Man, I just could not understand a lot of the things that they were saying. Portuguese, I feel like I can understand Portuguese because it's a lot closer to Spanish than what actual Brazilian Portuguese is. But no, it was dope, man. I got a chance to see the Christ of the Redeemer.
Is it really like?
It was like unbelievable. Gigantic. It was unbelievable, and obviously, I feel like when we were growing up, just the TV channels that we had, always for some reason, I feel like there was always that clip of the whether it was in like a magazine or something. We always kind of, at least for me growing up,
I saw it a lot.
I always saw it.
Yeah, you're right.
And I always saw it as a place that like I would never be able to get to. So going there was like a big deal. That was the first country in South America that I went to.
The new wonders of the world.
Yeah, that too. So that was, I was like, damn, I'm checking something big off my list right now.
Hell yeah.
So I definitely recommend anybody to go. And I feel like a lot of people maybe shy away from it because it is so far, but it's actually so cheap to get there, man.
How's the travel though?
The travel is a long trip. I mean, you're making a connection in Miami. Obviously, there's no direct flights really, but you're making a connection to Miami, so at least you have that like split. So you're maybe looking at like 4 hours, 3-4 hours onto Miami, and then anywhere from like 6 to 8 down to Rio. But you're being fed and stuff like that. The planes are a little bit more comfortable, so it's not that bad. And obviously, because you're traveling longer, like people tend to go for like longer times. But I know people that have gone for 3 or 4 days, and all they want to go and do is see the Christ Redeemer. And that's really all you need. To be honest, 3 or 4 days is enough. But if you really want to enjoy and see like the rest of Rio or of Brazil, there's so many other more beautiful cities that you can check out. So I can't wait to make my way back there because I feel like I need a do-over because I got all the sites in. I got all the sites. I did a helicopter tour, but
I don't do helicopters anymore.
Oh man, dude, the helicopter tour. Yeah, man, that was tough. But I'm like
that. Literally, like put a stop. That there's a couple that Kobe and then roller coasters was the incident that happened in Orlando a couple years ago. When I saw that, I was like, well, no more roller coasters. Yeah. When you get old, all that stuff,
Yeah, no, I learned. I learned to be a little bit of a daredevil because I put myself in some situations where there's no turning back.
I think you got to sometimes experience.
I have to.
I think I say that, but if I'm in Brazil and you're like, yo, you got a chance to get in the helicopter.
I can't wait until we get into the part of like maybe Asia.
Yeah. We're getting there. I'll start to ask that question. That pilot is gonna get interrogated from me. Like, all right, my man, you need to tell me you flew. I hope a Navy SEAL or something.
No,
something to the point that you flew. Like if he's under the age of 60, I don't want to bro. How long you been flying?
I felt it was mad comfortable, bro. It was mad chill. But the reason, honestly, that I feel like I need to go back to Brazil is because of the food. Because I left with the mentality from here that the food was gonna be like a Brazilian steakhouse, and
that's what I'm imagining.
It's not like that at all. A lot of the flavors are a lot different. So I feel like I need to do over to kind of learn more about their food and try other things, because I was definitely staying in the touristy areas and eating in the hotels and stuff like that, and yeah, I'd go back just for the food to Brazil, but or at least to try the food. So
since we're in the area, let's just poke one. What other countries in South America have you visited? We'll stay in the area.
Argentina was off the hook.
It would be dope if I had it. We don't have the technology or the budget to do
a map or something like that.
Yeah, like a little. That's why. TV guys, you know.
It'll happen eventually. It'll happen.
We'll get it. We'll
get a little green screen going. Yeah, it'll happen.
I got it.
Argentina was dope. Argentina felt more of a different.
It's crazy how close they are to each other and how different.
Yeah, Argentina felt like I was more in a different country than in Brazil. Brazil, even though I couldn't understand the language, it was like if you were in Santo Domingo. You know what I mean? It was very Caribbean. But Argentina just felt very like a different I mean, it's a different country, but it's like it's a different continent. It just felt different. The culture was super different over there. So that was dope. I've been to Ecuador down there, which is pretty dope.
Okay.
I got a chance to go to the zero latitude line, so that's the equator. So that was dope, and like the water goes down the other way, and like the egg.
Like I'm not a scientist or whatever, but like that should be the hottest place on Earth.
Nah, it's not. No, you would think it is, but it's not. It's actually, and I think maybe in some parts of the Earth it is, but the part of the Earth in the equator where it's at there, it's so high up in the mountains that's probably why it's
okay.
Even though it is closer to the sun, it was pretty chilly, but that was dope. Then you go a little bit like I want to go to Peru. Peru's so high on my bucket list. That's a place I really want to go to.
All I think about is Peru's camels and mountains.
Peru, and their food. I've had Peruvian food here, and I hate traveling like going off of what I've had here. But I've heard too many good things about Peruvian food, so that's a place I want to go to. And where else have I gone to down there? Colombia. Colombia is a must travel for anybody.
I want to go, but unfortunately,
hey,
it's a battle. It's a battle. It's a battle. It's like, I'm holding it for a future, bachelor party, future, like I mean, like
Colombia. Colombia is a cousin of DR, cousin of Puerto Rico. They're Caribeños too. Yeah. Colombia, Medellin, and Cartagena. That was a really great time up there. But there's a lot. Oh, I went to Uruguay también, which was
my son is actually half Uruguay.
Is he? Oh, that's right. Yeah. So that was pretty dope. I went to Uruguay, and where else have I been to? There's a lot down there still that I need to visit. But I mean, like Venezuela, that's a place I've always wanted to visit too. But it's obviously like really difficult to get in there.
So quick, if you had a genie, these are my favorite cards. But if you had a genie, and genie's like, yo, you get to go to one country, pick up a plate right now, and bring it back. Which one it is? You can pick one plate. You
have to say not excluding like Santo Domingo, like because obviously I'm gonna say Santo
Domingo. DI's
you know what I'm
excluded. Like that's why I said like, what's your favorite breakfast? If you said mango, I'm like, man, mango.
Believe it or not, bro, it's a toss up. It's a toss up because I mean I guess it depends. Like, it's a toss up because I would probably either grab. So there's two places I would grab a plate from real quick and come back from either Egypt. Or from Bali.
My girl's been to Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt or Bali, man. I was so surprised I wasn't surprised with the food in Bali at all because, it's not Chinese food, but it's Asian food, which we're used to, and it's a lot of noodles, a lot of rice, a lot of grilled chicken and stuff like that. So, I mean, anywhere in that part of the country, it's going to be really great food. But Egypt, I was so surprised with the food in Egypt because I didn't know really what to expect, but they have like pollo guisado, they have rice, and they have like, they'll have like the rice pollo guisado, and then like the pollo, they'll have beans with potatoes in it, y una ensalada de papa, una ensalada de codito.
That sounds like you just went to a típico.
Do you know what I'm saying? But it's just obviously.
I got that in right now.
The flavors are a little bit different, but that's why I was like, that's why I think I loved it so much because I was like, damn, look at where I'm at right now. Is that a pyramid? Is that a pyramid or a camera?
I don't know, man.
But I'm like, damn, talking Egypt, looking right at that.
I don't know, man. They be doing. Shout out to Nerd Guys. I don't know what they be doing over there. I try not to look. I try some things. I don't know whether it's real. They dug it up. I don't know what they be doing. But shout out to them though.
Nah, yeah, man. Like, yeah, I was really. I think that's why I enjoyed it so much more because I was like, damn. I was like, look at where we are in this part of the world and how many similarities we have.
Yeah. All right. Might as well fly over there, right? South America, let's go to the, the Pacific? South Pacific?
Yes, South Pacific, yeah. That's like, like I haven't done too much in Asia, but I've done a lot of like Southeast Asia, which is like I've been to the Philippines, I've done Cambodia, I've done Thailand, I've done Indonesia, I went to Taiwan, which is pretty dope. And I just, I love, if there's one place that I would recommend, if anybody ever asks me where they should travel to and they have time to go, it's definitely like Southeast Asia, bro, because like your money goes so long there.
That's a popular answer.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've had, shout out to my guy Nigel. He's also a Carmen San Diego guy like you. Traveling. It's very funny because like, I know everybody's watching this like, yo, finally we get to find out what the fuck Kevin does for a goddamn living. He's been traveling for the last decade. What is he doing? I'm here to answer that. That's why he's here, guys. But yeah, definitely. That's a popular answer. I think Nigel, when he was on here, said like Southeast Asia. To me, that's a long flight.
That's why a lot of people don't go because people don't realize that the amount of money that you spend in Punta Cana, let's say, maybe you don't spend that much because you are staying in a resort. You know what I'm saying? But with a couple extra $100, you got the ticket, and then once you're there, you're paying like $5 to nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like you're eating for $10 a day. You're staying in beautiful places for $5 a day. So that's why you see a lot of people, like a lot of nomads and a lot of people that can work remote, move to those parts of the world just because they're paying $20 a month to live, and they have Wi-Fi. They have food that they can eat for $1 a day and stuff like that. I could never do it because I definitely I'm definitely a city guy. Like I have to be, and they have cities obviously, but it's just like I'm definitely like a East Coast, New England, Massachusetts, Boston, Salem kind of guy. But
if I ever hit like the lotto or something, I'd have my spots.
I'm still gonna be,
but I'm gonna have a crib right here just because it's home.
Oh yeah, always, man. And I get that question a lot. Like, why have you never like moved or relocated? And it's just like I just feel comfortable here. I've been to a lot of states in the U.S., bro, and it's just Massachusetts is really comfortable in so many different aspects. Whether it's the food, like in New York, I could never take the train everywhere every day. They're used to it, but like I love being able to take my car and go to the supermarket, come back, and like leave when I want to, not have to wait around. That's just the way that we were just raised up here, I guess. But it's like everything is not that far. You can get to a lot of places. You can go to the country. You can go to the countryside. You can get to New York easily. You know what I mean? But everything is just good here in Massachusetts, and that's what I've learned over the past couple of years is to appreciate. And that's why I don't think I'll ever move.
You got any hangover style stories in the Philippines?
So nah. But
nah, no.
The one thing, because you were talking earlier about the helicopter and stuff like that. Anytime that I go to Asia, I get hurt. It just never fails. I always get hurt.
A lot of you. Actually, I won't say his name, but a friend of mine went to Thailand, food poisoning. He was out for like.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful too. You got to be. I always, whenever I travel, it doesn't matter where I go. I've always like got any kind of medicine on deck because you just never know what you're gonna need or who's gonna need it. But I'm really careful. I'm like, listen, as long as I got white rice, I'm good. I'm good with the white rice. But no, I was freaking and it's one of the fears that I have to face is I was freaking paragliding or parasailing, whatever it was, and this was like I thought I was gonna die, bro. I literally thought I was gonna die. So I mean, there was no way that I could have died, but I just thought that I was gonna die anyways.
So you started the story with parasailing. Right there, I thought about 12 ways to die from that. So I mean, I can think of some ways to die on parasailing.
I guess there was, but so it was obviously everything is mad dirt cheap over there, and we're just drinking, day drinking and stuff like that, and we're going on these excursions, whatever. But we get on this excursion and they take us to this platform where the boat takes off and you're connected to the parachute, I guess. Yeah. And once the boat takes off, you go and you're in the air, whatever. They take you around and then they drop you back off. So I'm getting ready, right? And then it's my turn to go up. And the guy tells me to run, but he tells me to run in his language. So when he told me to run, I asked him, like, what did you say? The boat had already left. So that's in that time that I was asking him what he said, I was supposed to be right. So it pulled me on like a rug like this. So it was like a rug. So imagine like a tarmac. It was on a rug in like 100-degree weather. It was like my knees, bro. It was like down to the bone, not the bone, but it was like down to like the skin, bro. Right. So then, but now I'm being dragged. So now my heart is racing. So the adrenaline is pumping, and then boom, I fall into the water. That's when I was like, oh shit.
All right, well,
I'm dead.
All right.
Like that was the adrenaline rush. I was like, I'm in the water, I'm dead, and then all of a sudden, like it felt like 3 minutes, but I know it was like seconds. Yeah. I shot right up, right into to the air, bro, and it was like, yo, I was like, and I was just laughing because the adrenaline rush was so crazy.
You realize you just almost died.
And then I was like bleeding everywhere, and then I was like, oh, a shark could have just had me right then and there because we're in the South Pacific, so who knows about that? But
I don't do ocean, man.
So because of that, I was like, after that, I'm like, I gotta redeem myself. So anytime that I get the opportunity to to just do it. Like I just kind of go for it because I miss out on a lot of opportunities. And
to me, there's just some things that like you should do in your 20s.
Facts.
And unfortunately, I missed my time.
That too.
I missed my time. The paragliding, the skydiving,
I like that.
The any of the stuff like that.
That's
Like
a good one.
Like my girl now. She wants to go, let's do excursions. I'm like, you know us, how many excursions can I do in DR? I've done them all.
ATV, you know what I'm saying? That's a good one.
I'm not a big ATV guy because like it's cool. No, oh, look at all the mud. You're driving through cow shit is what you're driving through. And it's going all over your stuff. You don't think about that. You're like driving, you all these cows. Like you're driving through shit the entire time. The entire time. So yeah, I'm not a big horse riding. I'm not riding no horse either.
Yeah, see, those are all like I like doing those, especially, bro. Like I don't do it all the time in any place that I go to, but like I'll do it when I because I'll do a lot of like research and stuff like that. But if I find like if it's a family company, I'll do it then. Like como quien dice, to like support the family, you know what I'm saying? In some way or some form, you know what I'm saying? But
of course.
Like the ATVs and all that, I'd be like, I'll just chill here at the beach, have a couple of drinks and whatever at the pool. But I'm still like I'm still gonna bungee jump and skydive and all that, bro. It's still on my list. I gotta do it.
The only way, because unfortunately, I've gotten older, but FOMO is still here. So if like 7 of my friends are like, "Yo, we're going skydiving," that thing, bro. Like, "Yo, if your friends all jump off a bridge, are you gonna jump off the bridge?" I'm like, "What else am I gonna do? Sit here like an idiot?"
No, but what's crazy though is that you think like that right now, but like I have met some people that like later in life when they turn 50, bro, that's when they're like, you know what?
Yeah,
I want to go skydive.
True.
So maybe your time is coming. You know what I'm saying? Maybe once your kid's a little bit older and stuff like that, you'll be like, you know what? Damn, now you really have FOMO. You'll be like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna go. If you guys will come with me, whatever. But I'm gonna do it. So maybe your time will come.
Maybe. Maybe. All right, where were we? South Pacific.
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines was dope. Cambodia was super dope. Like for example, China, not really South Pacific, but obviously like the China area. I went when I was like still kind of like young in my travel ages, so I feel like that's a place that I have to go back to.
A lot of history.
And there's a lot to see over there too. But I went to South Korea, which was like, exactly what you'd expect South Korea to be. But Japan is really where I want to get to, bro.
You haven't gone there yet?
I haven't gone to Japan because I don't want to half-ass it. I want to do it like right.
People say it's like it's a 2-week thing. It's like you need
it is, and it's expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like it's expensive. It's one of those trips that like for most people like us in the middle class, like it's a trip that if you take that trip, it's the only trip you're gonna take in the year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a big and expensive trip. But that's why I want to do it because like I don't know like when I'll be able to go back and all that. So that's a place that's really high on my bucket list.
You got Dominican parents. I'm sure your mom's like, why you on the plane every other week? You know what I'm saying?
Not anymore, but that's how it is.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you on TV doing it? All right, vete con Dios. But my mom always she's like, yo, why do you have to vacation so much? Because I tell her, because there's going to be a time where I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Where I can't, when I have a bunch of kids, where I have to ask my mom to babysit while I go to, she's like, where you going? To Atlanta for what?
That's our culture, but how many times a year do they go to DR? Or how many times have they gone to DR or in our lifetime? You know what I'm saying? Like
convincing my parents to go to another tropical island that's not DR, it's like,
and believe it or not, DR is expensive now.
Yeah.
Going to DR now is not the same as it was even 10 years ago, bro.
Hell no.
So that's one of the reasons why I started kind of doing what I do, and as far as like the travel thing goes, because I really wanted to inspire people to. There's some people that I knew that had never been to Punta Cana or that had never been to Puerto Rico and stuff like that have only been to Santo Domingo because that's where their family was from, and they're going back and forth. Like, there's so many other places that you can go to, like. I recommend everybody goes to Mexico at least once in their life. Yeah. At least once, because Mexico is still cheap to this day. It's cheap to get to, and you're gonna have a great time. You know what I'm saying? But we're just our parents and our culture. I think we were kind of the ones to kind of change it a little bit. But our culture was always like, "Tú eres loco." Like you're not supposed to be traveling. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
my cousin sisters be right like watching, be on a boat in a river with binoculars watching hippos and shit. And her dad would be having a heart attack.
You know what I'm saying? But, times change. And I'm sure, obviously, like, when your son gets older, he's probably going to want to travel Just like you did, just like we did. You know what I'm saying? So,
what was your first trip? Not DR.
My first trip, not DR, out of the country or here?
Let's just say your first unsupervised. Like you know what
dude.
I mean? Your first.
Oh shoot!
First trip
cruise.
Unsupervised.
A cruise.
I haven't done a cruise.
Yeah,
yet.
a cruise, and I think that's why I freaking fell in love with it because, I mean, cruises are dope anyways. Like cruises are, everybody should go on a cruise. Like that is.
Oh, I know, but unfortunately, again, and you know what? Yeah, I'm going to. My girl wants to go to a cruise. But she's like, oh, I have to have a balcony. I have to have this.
It's
and
worth
then,
it.
And it's like fives and checklists. I'm like, every checklist is an extra like $500.
No, but you know what? Cruise lines, bro, that's another thing that a lot of people don't know. Cruise lines give you the options to pay as you go. In the sense where, like, not all cruise lines and not every type of room, but they do have, like, I know Royal does that. I'm going on a cruise in November that, you put a down payment down and then you have to have it paid, let's say, 60, 90 days before.
So, like wedding, people, destination weddings.
Yes.
You give me a website, I'll go anywhere. I can make payments. I'm good at making payments. It's the upfront money that I had trouble doing it. Like, you know what I mean?
And that's one of the things about for at least the cruises is. So I was able to do that. So I'm like, wait, I'm going to 4 countries and 8 days, and everything is included. Let's do it. So I went on a cruise. It was like an 8-day cruise, and so I had a chance to go. I'd been to Florida many times because I had family there, but it was like my first time like. I don't want to say unsupervised because I was already like 18, 19, so I was but I was still unsupervised, you know what I'm saying? I was just out there, like I rented a car, got charged mad money because I was under 25, but what the hell did I know? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? They'll rent me a car, so I rented, you know what I mean?
18, you don't ask many questions.
You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, so after that, I was like, damn, I was like, so I can... So I was still living at home, so I was like, damn, I can actually do this shit, and like, yeah, my parents might give me a little bit grief, but I did it once, like I could do it again. And so then once that happened, that's when I started working in this building. So for the company that I was working here, they allowed me to travel a lot. And so obviously I was on my own doing that. Yeah. So that's kind of like how I became, like, I don't want to say a pro, but that's how I became comfortable just getting out there and like not worrying about like learning how to look for cheap flights. Looking for like
I need a overnight to Santiago. We can talk about
like cheap hotels, not cheap hotels like as in cheap, but like affordable hotels and stuff like that. But that cruise was really what did it for me, man. After that cruise, I was like, yo, I'm out, and I haven't really stopped since. I
need to get on the cruise, but again, I feel like I wish I did it in my
20s. Bro, if there's the time you're gonna do it, it's gonna be now. True. Because I
gotta do it now because I have multiple kids. These kids ain't
it's gonna be more expensive, bro. No. Honestly, bro, like you go to a couple of different countries. You wake up, you can get off the boat if you want. You don't have to. There's the gym, there's the pools, there's the shows, like everything you need. And there's more features in cruise lines than resorts that are all inclusive because resorts they only offer so much. Like you're at sea and I mean they offer everything, like everything. So that's something I would highly recommend because. You'll see so many older people taking cruises because they're just chilling.
Yeah. I tend to do all inclusive just because if you know me and my family, we tend to be drink a little bit. Juan knows he's been on vacation with us. We tend to drink a little bit. You know what I mean? So if we're, it gets a little pricey if we're buying per bottle, then we buy price. So, all inclusive, like I would have to get a drink package.
For sure. No, that's definitely the way to go. Because the thing is that, like, to put it in perspective for anybody that's watching, like if you don't get the drink package, let's say every drink is $12 on board, right? You're gonna have 5 drinks per se. Let's say 5 drinks, right? Ahí son 60-75 pesos real quick. Every single day you're going to be spending that. But if you would have gotten the drink package, you would have paid $40 a day. But you're not going to spend the 60 or the 75. You're going to definitely spend 120 because you're not going to have, if all your family's there, you're gonna have 5 drinks in that one spot that you're at.
I'm going to have 5 drinks in
at the next spot.
It's 30 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? And then at the next spot, and then a lot of the drinks are beer or this or that. So the drink package is 100% worth it. Yeah. Some cruises are actually cheaper than all-inclusive resorts. It's just that because we live in New England, we have to travel to where the cruises are. So that kind of like, that's where the difference comes in, but it's worth it. The leg.
You see. I should do a study. I'm going to go back to all the podcasts we shot for 806. And if I see anybody crossing the leg and see what age you're at, I guarantee you cross your leg, you're over, not even 30, you might be over 35. You cross your leg, you over 35. That's a whole different level. All right, we're traveling again. Let's go to Europe. I've always want to do Italy, but in my back of my head, I was like, that's the honeymoon spot. So I was waiting for that situation to come up. Have you been to Italy before?
Yeah, man. So Italy, I love Italy, bro. Italy is a spot that is like, again, one of those spots that like we kind of grew up learning about, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So like to see it, like the Roman Empire and all that, so like the Colosseum and all that. So
that's definitely bucket list for me.
To see that in person, bro, it's like I'll go back to Rome anytime. Venice is more of like the destination spot where it's more like honeymoonish and stuff like that. But I've had people, like I've gotten groups together of people that, just are going as a group or going as a group of friends. And Italy is definitely like one of the best places to visit in Europe if you want to get that like European experience. Like London, whatever.
I've never had a big
a day or two.
It looks right now outside. Right now, it looks like London.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's nice to go. It's whatever. Like the food is nothing to write home about or anything like that. But Italy, like the food, the people, the fact that we can understand them helps out a lot.
So, my girlfriend's Italian, and I thought I knew Italian. I had no idea. Bro, there's about 175 different kinds of pasta.
And we also cook pasta way wrong and do everything wrong.
Yeah. I've known that like Spanish spaghetti is no one like, so when I met her, I was just like, I'm explaining our cause, like, I'm gonna get some mangú con salami. If you say salami to an Italian person,
what?
They're like, you putting cold cuts on this shit? You know what I mean? So I had to like, bro, and I was big. I think I was Italian in a different life because I'm a big Italian. I love Italian food. Unfortunately, I gained a little. I got it off. I told my girl, she's like, "Oh, you lost weight." I'm like, "Yeah, I lost all the weight I got off when I met you. Now I'm back to normal." But the food must have been like,
bro, it's an incredible experience. So I've been to Italy a few times. I've because I like it so much. I've gotten the chance to do like an overnight trip, like 24 hours in Italy. Like you can actually go to Rome and go see everything in 24 hours. Right. Like if you didn't have time, like you could actually do that in 24 hours. And the flights to Europe.
Yeah, that's what I said. Once you're in Europe,
so cheap to like bounce around. You can get from like Paris to Rome for like $15. And that's another really great thing to do is like if you have 2 weeks, go to Europe. Go to Europe so you can bounce around, and that's a really great place to learn a lot of cultures. A lot of the places may be a little bit boring, but it's always cool. Like some now that I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate those boring countries a little bit more because I'm like, damn, I don't need to go party every single night.
Bro.
I do sometimes.
I'm gonna shout him out because I was begging for. Shout out to my boy Fritz. We had him over for dinner this weekend. And
Fritz.
And we have a wedding in Aruba to go to.
Oh, dope, bro! You're gonna have a blast.
Yes, that's what we think. He's been Aruba. Aruba's whack, trash. Because it's not the party. It's not
because of who he went with. But Aruba. My mom just came back from Aruba. Aruba is 100% a place that is 100% worth doing all inclusive on, because unless you got money like that, you know what I'm saying? If you got money like that, then by all means. But those islands,
you don't got the green screen.
Those islands like that, like I went to Curacao, which is one of like the ABC islands, right in that same area. So there's Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So all those three islands,
that's why we have people all like him, man.
They're right on top of Colombia and Venezuela, so they're very Spanish, but they're still, I believe, like European or
settlements and stuff. Like
I think they're European. They're still, I think they're European or from the UK, one of those two. But everything is mad expensive, so you guys aren't really gonna feel it because you're gonna be at a resort, I'm assuming, right? Yeah. But I know you guys are gonna go outside and like a plate of food is gonna actually maybe not now because of how high everything is here now. I haven't been in a long time, but in a general thing, like you'd think that you're going to like pay island prices and you're not. But it's gonna be worth it. You're gonna be like, damn. And Fritz, man, yo, he probably just didn't have a good time with the people he went with last time because yo, Aruba is dope, dope. Good weather the entire time. Like I don't think it ever rains there because it's you know because it's like a so you have beach and then like on the like across the street it's a desert. So that's how the weather is there. So there's always like a constant breeze. But damn, you guys are gonna have a great time, bro. Yeah. An amazing time out there.
My bank account's not gonna have an amazing time.
You know, it's
money isn't real. That's what I tell my mom. Every time she's like, "You spend all this money," like the movie Blow. Money isn't real.
Nah,
George.
you know, if you're gonna do it right. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do it right, and you'd be surprised. You're gonna probably be like, damn. Because, you know, now that we're older, like, we go to Boston. So we know, like, we go to New York. New York is expensive as hell. Like, you can go to New York or Miami and easily drop $1,000 easily in one evening.
Let me tell you a little story about the culture shock my dad did when we went out for the World Baseball Classic. We went out, we stopped at a bar, and we were just getting como picadera and drinks. And I think this might have been the first one, because my dad's not a drinker. He'll have a beer, you know what I mean? Liquor, no, he's not going to really touch the liquor, but obviously, you know, we're different. We grew up a little different than you. So we're having, we ordered a couple of drinks, and he's like, you know, I got the, you know, trying to be the dad, I got the bill.
Estamos de vacaciones, tú
sabes,
you know?
Usually Dominican parents, I could be 45, my dad's going to pick up the check if we're on vacation. Just that's how it is. I'm sure I'll do the same thing for my son.
Of course.
When that man saw that bill, for I think it was like a tiki bar in Miami. He just said, we all looked at him like, we got it. Like he was just like, no what? Joke. And then the same thing happened because my dad invited his friends, DR, whether one's from Connecticut, one's from like whatever. And he, again, Dominican men are very proud. You know what I mean? Oh, I got it. I was like, bro, we're like, come on,
like,
man.
What kind of tax is this?
Yeah, and then he saw that, he's like, oh. We're like,
it's
hand
no
it
joke.
over. We'll take that one too. But
nah, you guys are gonna have a blast, bro. You guys are definitely gonna have a blast.
Absolutely.
But definitely, like, if there's a place that you want to like take your girl to that's different, bro, like I would definitely take her to and go try to meet her family over there, bro. Because if she has family, I'm not sure if she does, but like if you do, like you'll have even that much of a better time because you'll be able to like get into like. You know,
she got me watching Sopranos. How do you feel about Sopranos? I know it has nothing to do
the
with
Sopranos, bro. Man, honestly, I love that show, man. I wish I could come back, you know, but
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think it ended.
Yeah, I know, and to me it's a little boring. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nah.
The first season, I'm sitting there like you just arguing, bro. This dude's in therapy. the grandmother is just like annoying or something. I'm just like, yo, what is this? Like,
I think I've learned to appreciate it more. You know. So I watched it like originally, and then I've rewatched it a lot of times.
My girl loves it.
I think I've learned to appreciate it more now because of some of the actors that are in there that I've seen some of their more recent work.
That makes sense.
So what's the show called? The one with the damn bro, the one with that's like the motorcycle gang.
Oh, Sons of Anarchy?
Bro, like, so the mom on that show, you know, like, I'm like, damn, so now I go back and I watch these, I'm like, oh, shoot, now, like, I feel like I understand the character more, but no, there was a couple of episodes that were mad boring, bro, but.
Bro, whatever, I'm sitting there, you know what I mean, like, you know, I do it for you, babe, you know what I mean, I'll watch it.
Drink some wine during it.
No, I know, like, funny thing is, what's weird about my girl, like, she's Italian, Sopranos, I think. Never watched Godfathers.
Oh, come on.
I met her dad. I'm like, yo.
You gotta.
I was like, yo,
she gotta do it for you.
Yeah. Thing is, we always planning. I was like, you know, Godfather 2, because we watched Godfather, but now we're on Godfather 2. Problem with Godfather 2 is a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah, it's a long one.
You know what I mean? It has to be a Sunday rainy afternoon, or
and you gotta start at like noon.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, she'll be like at 7 o'clock. Let's start Godfather 2. I'm like, we're not. I don't do regular movies. Like, I don't know about you.
I be falling asleep quick,
8 o'clock is my deadline.
I be falling asleep.
I have an 8 o'clock deadline. If you want to watch a movie with me, it has to be before 8 o'clock. Starting before 8.
And I be trying to like eat, like, you know, kind of like wait to have dinner, like when the movie.
I'm a big Marvel guy, right?
Yeah.
I go to all the Marvel movies. I'm the guy. Like, me and my girl argue about this a little bit because I have to see it opening night.
Hell yeah!
Because I'm a big YouTube guy, and
you like to be able to.
I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to be spoiled. I got people who I know whose name will be remain nameless, who like to just like
those
live tweet. Like, I don't understand. Like, no one cares about your opinions, bro. Just give us a weekend.
I'm gonna send you a link that'll sorry to cut you off, but I'll send you a link that will give you the advanced tickets for the screenings for some movies. So
say less. Say less. But when I go to Marvel movies, it's usually the Thursday nights. Usually that's the opening night, and it'll be like 9:00.
Yeah.
10:30 o'clock. That's a double Red Bull in the cargo
You gotta
pants.
prepare. You gotta be.
That's a double Red Bull.
You gotta be prepared.
No, there's no way. Like,
I don't know.
I can't go to a movie theater and, after 8:00 raw dogging it and not and just be like this, because there's no way. And unfortunately, I've paid for some movies that I fell asleep to.
Nah, bro. I think I went through a stage where I was going to I was going through a stage where I was falling asleep at the movies. I would go and I would fall asleep, and so I was testing it. I'm like, let me go, and I would fall asleep. But it's funny that you're bringing up that concept now about going to watch movies and stuff like that, because I was listening to the Breakfast Club this morning, and they were talking about, or some show this morning, and they were talking about how the movie theater culture has changed, and if you weren't a fan of Marvel, you probably wouldn't be going to see these movies as often. You would probably just wait to see them at the house. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy how
I'm trying to think of the last non-superhero
that you went to go see.
James
Crazy,
Bond, but I fell asleep.
Maybe something with your son. Maybe when he was,
Yeah.
And I feel obviously it was after COVID too that kind of happened. I feel that kind of progressed it even faster. But now I don't fall asleep when I go to the movies, but that's because I don't wait until 9:00 to go.
Only time I go at 9:00 is the
That's when they're coming out.
Or most of them I'll just wait till it hits streaming. If it's it has to be something like a movie a Christopher Nolan movie, when it's just gonna be big effects. I need to watch this on the big screen. Like Avatar. You can't watch Avatar. You can't wait till Avatar.
The quiet movie. What the hell was it called? I love horror movies. Those I'll go and watch. For Marvel's for you, the horror movies, bro. All of them. I love them.
Listen. There's not a lot of hard no's in my life.
But that's one of them.
Horror movies are a hard no. I it's one of those you meet a girl and you're all right, these are my
that's one of them.
All right, babe, I'm not gonna let you know right now. Horror movies, if you're into them,
that's
a wrap.
That's
so I can't. I don't understand how being scared can be something entertaining,
bro.
In my brain, I was being startled. I barely sleep. You gonna fuck up my sleep time just because. I can do the killer shit. I can do the Jasons and all that.
Yeah, all of that.
It's the child possessed.
Bro, it's
is that I can't
The Ring. The Ring still to this day is one of my favorite movies of all time, bro.
The Ring. And it's just a girl climbing out of a fucking. That's
bro,
terrifying.
The Ring. I couldn't even sleep. I
don't even watch the previews. I change the channel to previews.
It was
I get mad when I'm in a movie theater and they show a horror preview. I'm just gonna be like, I came here to watch Captain America. Why the hell is The Ring? That's what it'd be like. Yeah, well,
shit.
I think we cover most of the world. Any other place in the world where we haven't touched that you maybe want to spotlight?
Yeah, you know what? Right here, the U.S., bro.
We didn't even hit our own country.
The U.S. I feel like a lot of people
take for granted.
Not take for granted, but just don't look at. We don't look at this as a place to vacation to unless you're going to Florida. And
it's hard for me to vacation somewhere cold.
That too, but I feel like people are if I'm gonna spend the money, because it's actually cheaper to fly out of the country than it is to fly here. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're going to New York, sometimes if you're going to New York, like I said earlier, you'll spend mad money, where you can spend that exact same money and be all inclusive in Mexico for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So, but. One of the things so one of my goals is to visit all the U.S. states.
How many we got down?
I have 40 down so far. Or maybe 41, 40 or 41 or something like that. But I still have Alaska to go to. I still have, a lot of what I'm missing really is that middle.
And the ones you don't want to go to, the Montanas,
that.
The Idahos, South Dakota, and North Dakota.
South Carolina is one that I really want to go check out. That's down East Coast. But but that middle area of the country I want to go to and I want to go because I want to just I know I'm not gonna. I can't say that I'm not gonna. I know that I'm not gonna. I can't say I'm not gonna like it because I'm not a big hiker. I'll go hiking and stuff like that. If I have to, or some places there's some places that I'll go to that hiking is part of it. I love New Hampshire. So like hiking is part of the New Hampshire experience. So even though I'm going camping or I'm going to stay at like some kind of Airbnb, like I always kind of try to do something in the nature to kind of tie it all in. But yeah, so like I guess now because I when I was growing up, I guess over the past like 15 years, like I wanted to go to as many countries as I could, but I noticed that I wasn't really like taking advantage of the places that I was going to. I can't, like some places that I'm like, damn, I'm like, what the hell did I do there? So it was like a rush because I was there for 2 days.
You went there just to
like check it off the list. Like for example, like I said, like when I went to China, like I didn't really like appreciate the culture, and I was expecting Chinese food. Like I was expecting Chinese food from like Fantasy Island or from Hanga. You know what I'm saying? So I ordered like chicken fried rice, and it was not chicken fried rice. You know what I'm saying? Or like shrimp fried rice, it was not that. So like so I want to definitely slow down on like not bouncing around as much. Like I want to like take 5 days and freaking Italy to really enjoy it. Some countries you really don't need that much time. That's why some people get like deterred from traveling, because they'll go to a place for 10 days that you're only like people go to London for a week. In London, you're really only supposed to be there for like 2 days. Because like, what the hell are you gonna do for 10 days in the rain?
Buckingham Palace, the bridge,
the Ferris wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like but yeah. So what I'm doing here in the U.S. is I want to get people to take road trips to like go to Niagara Falls. Like, how many people that live here have never gone to even New York City? Right. You know what I'm saying? So like I want people to get out there and to travel. So I want to hit all the states because I just want to see all of them, and I want to definitely like be 100% sure that Massachusetts is by far the best state in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%.
Right now we're number one still?
Out of all the places I've been to, bro, there's nobody that does it like Massachusetts. Yeah, we don't have like the best beaches, but like I appreciate.
Hey, we have a beach, man. A lot of places don't have beaches.
Right, like I appreciate being next to the ocean. I appreciate the fact that we have the Four Seasons. I appreciate the fact that there's that sense of like the unity, like Latinos, white people, black people. There's that here that because I've been to
very diverse.
Yeah, bro, I've been to some places that I'm like, holy shit, like I am not welcome here.
Kevin, in New Hampshire, we have a rule. This is New Hampshire. Juan knows this. Unless I have to get out the car, I don't get out the car. Nah. Babe, I need a Red Bull and some Cool Ranch Doritos. I'll send her. Me and Gary will sit in the car.
You'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised. Like the part of the country that we live at is diverse, mad diverse, bro, and so cool. And we just think like that because it's so different from where we're from. Like Massachusetts, Salem in particular, bro, is so different from anywhere else in the country, bro. Like we are just like it's just something about the way that the culture is here that is just so different. And like San Diego, I love San Diego. San Diego,
that's definitely
dope.
On my list.
San Diego is dope, but it's hot all the time, and like I like it. I like to be a little bit, like I like the snow, and I like to have my Four Seasons because I feel like that to me is kind of like normal. Like in Florida, I could never live in Florida because I cannot deal with the heat 365 days a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now is I really want to explore more of the U.S. Like you have like states like New Orleans and like Texas. That's a state I highly recommend you check out. Chicago, bro. Chicago's one of my favorite cities in the U.S.
We almost went to Chicago for our St. Patty's.
Chicago's dope. All you need is 2 days in Chicago, and you'll be back again next year for another 2 days. And those tickets be mad cheap. Like if you keep an eye out for Spirit Airlines, Frontier, you can get there back for $100.
So we did the. If you ever want a quick trip, look at me giving
Damn, let's
advice.
get
Look
it,
at
boy.
me.
I've
been to a couple places.
That's what I like to see.
I've been to a couple places. I dabble. Me and my girl did a trip to DC.
Word, yo.
And that was literally, bro, it's a 45-minute flight. The flights were like $100. And I'm assuming you went to DC.
Yeah.
The National Mall, you could knock everything down in 2 days.
Yeah. But the best thing about DC is that everything is free.
Everything is free.
So everything is free. The only thing you have to worry about, obviously, getting is a place to stay. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys, if depending if you're with kids, obviously, like if you're with kids, you could like go to the supermarket, buy snacks and sandwiches because that's how you see people is having snacks and sandwiches in the thing. If you want to go out to eat, obviously, it's the nation's capital, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But everything you can spend 2 days doing everything for free. That's another place
A lot
that
of
I like
walking.
people to
I
go check
had
out,
a
too.
good time at DC.
And it's not a bad road trip. Like, once you get to New York, you'll be in DC in like another like 4 hours. So just let somebody else drive.
Take the flight. It's $100.
Yeah,
The flight is like $100.
Take the flight. But people taking a flight for some people,
Yeah,
either it might be impossible or they might be like, or it's 10 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where like renting a car or renting a little
What is
van.
it, 8-hour drive from here? Not that bad.
Like the Niagara Falls, go to Niagara Falls, but I will never drive. I will drive there because it's a good road trip for people from New England. But driving back from Niagara Falls, I'll never do it again.
Bro, I drove to Memphis.
No, the driving there is fine. It's the coming back home. You have to drive back too.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's gonna be pretty tough to get me to do a road trip. Like I did that. It was fun.
I mean, unless it's an RV and people are
It was a Toyota Camry.
RV is another really great
Investment.
not an investment, a great trip to do with the family. Like, like just an RV for the weekend, like even with your friends, like an RV for the weekend to like, I took an RV for Memorial Day weekend a couple years ago to, was it Sebago? No, it was to Niagara. We took an RV to Niagara. And so we all took turns to drive there. It took like 8 to 10 hours to get there. But when we got there, we didn't have to get a hotel because we were in the RV. We didn't have to go to any restaurants because we bought all the food to cook in the RV. We had to pay like maybe $10 to $15 to park the RV at the whatever campsite. Yeah. And then, looking at Niagara Falls was free. So that's where I'm focusing in is trying to get people to kind of explore a little bit more of the U.S. and all that because it's dope, bro. The U.S. is dope.
That's dope. All right. A lot of you talk about exploring the U.S. We live 20 minutes away from one of the biggest cities in the world, in Boston, and now let's meet Boston on Nesson. So first, how did you get the opportunity to do that? I'm sure they saw your IG like all of us did. Like, all right, clearly this motherfucker knows what he's talking about. So how did that opportunity come about?
So I guess in 2020 was really when I started doing more stuff in Boston because that was really kind of like all we could do. Yeah. So then I somehow just started like following people, even back then, like you could say something to the phone and it was like, I wonder who else is a content creator in Boston, and like automatically like all of these content creators start popping up in like the Boston area. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I have mad videos because I've always when Instagram came out, I had Instagram and like I've always used it. I've always posted pictures, but there wasn't like a reason for it. And then I just started like going to all the free stuff that there was to do in Boston. I'm like, damn, what can I do that's free, that's outdoors right now in Boston? So I started doing that, and then like museums started like, oh, he's doing that, whatever. Do you want to come by once we open? And then once that happening, it was, hey, the restaurants are opening back up. We're going to start doing our outdoor patio dining. Would you like to come by? And I'm like, wait, I can get free food out of this and get paid? Let's do it.
Evan, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been really jealous the last few years. How the fuck? So it looks like you had the best job in the world, my friend.
So then, because I feel like it took me a little bit to like kind of like start kind of like, so the thing is that yes, I love the traveling aspect of it, but I think I fell in love more with like the editing part of everything and like the building of like the videos and the voiceovers and all that. So I think cause I really
you're doing this all year.
I do everything on my own, all my editing, everything, everything is on my own. Just because I'm kind of like I always feel like if you have a vision for it, like eventually I'm gonna start delegating work, but for now, like I need it to be like a certain kind of way. So I just started like kind of refining my craft, and because I loved putting the videos together and like the colorings and all that, using like different programs and stuff like that, the quality of the videos just got better.
I think 806 fans know. I do not edit our own videos.
They look dope, though. They look freaking dope.
Shout out to Baldwin. Shout out to Juan. Shout out to the whole crew. The whole crew. I'm what I called a on-camera talent. Is what we call it in the business. Like, you know what I mean, like that. Shit, I dabble. I do produce some of the uneducated MMA videos. I be sitting in that seat sometimes. But I think he would even prefer someone else sit behind there except for me. You know what I mean? We all have our strengths.
Of course, yeah.
But that's dope. That's dope that you're editing your own.
And so then that kind of led to like other like bigger projects and stuff like that, which kind of required me to have to kind of learn like different etiquettes, whether that's different ways of filming and different perspectives and stuff like that. And yeah, I just started picking up, and then I honestly I was tagging them on a lot of my stuff that I was doing. Like I was tagging like Visit Massachusetts and Meet Boston, which is Meet Boston USA is like the tourism board for the city. Yeah. And they were like, damn, like, and I'm like, yo, stop gassing me up, like, come on, like, and then I'm like, damn, I'm like, nah, my stuff is like not that bad, and I'm kind of like, I'm one of the only like Spanish, like dark skinned black kind of dudes that are kind of like doing it in the area. You know what I'm saying? At least when I first started, you know, now there's like a lot more people, so I kind of like that helped me out. I think you
definitely like you got in front of the wave.
Yeah.
You got in before, because now like everybody's going. Like, even we're starting to do, think of, shout out REG, your co-host, going to be visiting Chinese food restaurants and stuff. Going to that.
I have to connect with them, too. I have to connect with them.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. That'll be dope. Yeah, so I've seen a lot more, but if I think back, like, you were definitely the first one that I see.
And in the beginning, my mom, obviously, because at first I was like, oh, I wanted to be on radio. Right when we got out of high school, I wanted to be on radio. Because I was really cool with some of the people at gym and at that time, and I had done like a bunch of like the street, They used to do like the street stuff
I remember that.
All that. So I used to be really involved. So I really wanted to go there. But then I was doing ROTC in school, and then I didn't know what the hell. And then I got the job selling pet supplies. I don't know what the hell I wanted to do.
We all like.
And so then my friends like used to be like, yo, Kevin, why do you take so many pictures, and why are you taking pictures of food? And now my friends are like, yo, Kev, you need this angle, or let's do this angle, because they know that I've created a little bit of like a business out of it. And they were like, Kev, like I was low key kind of like, damn, I wonder if they're gonna ask me, because I know that like the type of content that I do, there's a ton of foodies in Boston. Like there's a ton of foodies in Boston. There's a ton of foodies in Boston, but there's very few people that like go and visit like museums and stuff like that, which are things that people want to actually do. Like people that like
it was crazy because like I'm it's my age of saying like I get annoyed with my girls like, yo, can you look up this hotel? I tell her, yo, can you look up this hotel? In my head, she's gonna Google it.
Yeah.
But no, she goes on TikTok, she goes on IG,
for sure,
and
to see it live.
And in my head, I was just like, why would you like just go to the website? And now that's just me being an old head, and me like, old heads don't like change. So now that I see it, I was like, yo, like when we went to DC, but before we even got to DC, I felt like I was already there because of content creators. Because I'm watching these people go in these museums. So people like what you're doing, like. Yeah, it's well needed.
It's dope. And for me, I never like I obviously I didn't do it for the money. When I first started, bro, I was doing it because like I liked it, and I had mad pictures I needed to get rid of. That's one of the reasons why I really started. I'm like, oh, I don't want to delete them, so I might as well put them there, and then like the captions and all that, whatever. But yeah, like I just I kept going at it, and then they reached out, and I'm like, let's freaking do it. And so I'm on Saturday mornings. Okay. So every Saturday they have a new cast, right? So there's 20 of us. So the 20 of us are going to be, we're kind of on for the year. Yeah. So what they've done is they've split the 20 of us in all of the Saturdays in the year. So the shows play every Saturday. So every Saturday there's a new set of 4 that are showing, right? So we have either 4 to 6 shows depending on like how many days and whatever. So the first one that just came out was March 1st. So my next one I believe is like somewhere in May. And for me, bro, it was like I feel like I earned it. Yeah, and I feel like I earned it. I feel like I worked really hard for it.
We see the work.
Yeah,
like, bro. That's the cool thing about IG and stuff.
And obviously being a creator, it's tough to like get demotivated because you see other people moving at a faster pace than you or getting different opportunities. And for a minute there, I was like, damn, I'm like, is it worth it? But then like the money started to come and I'm like, wait a second. I don't care. Since I wasn't doing it for the money, this is extra money that was coming in. So I'm like, I gotta keep at it because I actually like it. And now my people like understand what it is that I'm doing. And now I'm getting like mad opportunities that like I never thought I would get some of the opportunities that I have. And it's only the beginning. And so I feel like obviously working with the TV show is just like, it's been a huge opportunity, bro. Like I've met so many people. Plus now I get to connect with like other people that are like doing some of the same stuff that I am in the city that maybe I saw at like an event before, but I didn't know them. And like now I do. So it's cool just because I know that this is just a stepping stone. Like, bro, when I tell you I'm going to be or have a traveling show on Netflix, I don't know when, but that's something I want to do. That's something I want to do just because I know that it could be huge. You know what I'm saying? With like a team of other people, like I think it could be huge. And it's far-fetched and it's not even that big of a dream.
Nothing's far-fetched.
And it's not even that big of a dream. I just want to I want to do that. Like I want to do that just because like I feel like it'll be a great, a great. Because I don't want to be famous, bro. Like I don't want to be like, I don't want to be like a celebrity by any means.
No, but if you can make a living doing what you love,
and inspire people to do it. Like I feel like if I feel like, damn, like you know how many people, bro, that I've gotten, like even from Salem, you know how many people I've gotten to do things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That I'm like, oh snap, like that's what's up. Like they want to go and check this out. Like that's dope. Maybe it's because they have somebody that like that they know, and sometimes even it comes down to like the way that you look, like. Having somebody that's out there in these spaces that looks like you, and you're like, damn, like I could go to that restaurant too. Like if Kevin was there, Kevin's loud ass was at this restaurant, that means I can go there too. People be like, yo, how was the steak, or how do I make reservations? And I'm like, that's what it's all about. So for me, getting to do something on Netflix is more of like the like that anything is possible type of thing. Because like I definitely don't want to be like a celebrity, like people chasing me down. I just want to be inspirational to people because I have already, and so I would like a bigger platform to be able to inspire more people.
That's dope. All right, we're almost close to the end, so let's do some fun questions. For maybe a first-time traveler or someone who's maybe someone in our audience who's young, who's beginning, whatever. Give us like 3 travel hacks that you think would be for a beginning to travel.
Definitely buy on like a Tuesday. If you're gonna buy a flight, definitely buy it on a Tuesday.
I know that one.
Definitely buy it on a Tuesday. And by hack, do you mean like a way to save money or like
just like hacks is like either save money or things to know like, hey, yo, if you're in this country, you might want to put your wallet in your pocket, or you might want to, hey, they don't really have Ubers in this country, so maybe anything.
So I guess my number one thing that I would say for anybody that's new out there, whether you're a new traveler or you've traveled before, is definitely do not wait for anybody to go on that trip.
Shit.
Because if you do, you will never go on that trip, bro. It's for real. Even if you put a down payment, people don't care to lose a down payment. Like if you want to go somewhere, like just book that trip for sure.
Group chat vacations,
for sure. Like you end up being the only one that goes. You know what I'm saying? It's 220 people that want to go, and then there's 2 people that end up going.
So 200 people want to go, and then when that first payment is due, damn.
Always book that trip.
Yeah.
Definitely now because now for example, like most of us, a lot of people have T-Mobile. Yeah. Like I always used to say, like make sure you have like a SIM card and make sure you have a way of communication. Like that's for sure like something that like you definitely want to make sure you always are good with. But I think I want to get into more like let's see, more some like hack stuff like
maybe something that we would have never thought of.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like social media now, it's tough because I was gonna say like definitely like I've gone to places and I've been with some shorties and like they're like dressed completely inappropriate for the place that we're at. So like definitely always like kind of research that.
Look up the place you're going
first. But I mean, it's always like it's tough because they're. I mean, there's hacks to save money. Like like I always tell people like don't book like through Expedia. Or don't book through like those third party.
So you recommend direct hotel, direct the airline?
Either direct or individually because they're charging you. So again, it comes down to like how much you care about it because they're charging you for convenience because they're giving you the whole thing. So they're giving you the whole thing, but you're booking for 10 people. They're making a good cut when you could actually have bought the flight for cheaper, for 10 people directly through, let's say, JetBlue or through Delta or American. But some people are just like, I just don't want to deal with it. I just,
I'm that guy sometimes.
And it's cool. But for me, because I travel so much, I'm just like, let me think. But if you're a new traveler, if you're a younger traveler, you probably don't got the money to get out there like that. And yeah, and I feel like that kind of deters people from like, they're like, damn, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I want to do that. But then they're also like, you know what? I'm gonna go. It's all right there. Boom, let's do it.
It's one payment. Boom.
Yeah, but like I might not have hacks now, but whoever is watching your show, and if you guys ever have questions, like I'm sure you can ask them through him to get to me. I can
we're gonna tag you. Where to find you?
Because people have different questions. There's some people that are out there that want to travel by themselves. That want to do solo travel. People that want to.
I don't have the balls.
People that want to take their families and they want to go somewhere where it's kind of like yo, Kev, where can I take my family where me and my wife can have fun? But then the kids could have fun too, because then people go to places they're like, damn, like this is mad boring. But I'm like, yo, you got kids, like what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? So it's good to like look for those spots that are kind of like, that are a good balance between people and stuff like that. But yeah, any questions, like, there's a hack for everything. Just let me know what it is you want, and we'll figure out a hack.
I wanted to end this on I wanted to make sure I end this Sunday conversation on this topic, because there's not a lot of us where I can have this conversation with. We went to a beautiful bilingual elementary school by the name of Federal Street School. When I say there's not a lot of us, because there's a very small fraternity of us, and we're damn near proud.
That's what? Hell yeah. Have you seen it recently?
Yeah, it's.
I just saw it for the other day.
It's gotta be knocked down. Just knock it down and put it out of this misery at this point.
Yeah, facts. Like, don't do that.
Any memories of those days? I know we're going back 30 something years.
Which, by the way, our 20-year anniversary is next year from high school.
Oh my God.
Crazy. Oh my
God.
That means that we were, that's like 30 years ago, essentially 30 years ago, yeah. Or more than that, because we were like 5 and 6, right? But, the one thing, bro, is that I always feel like we, out of all the people from Salem, because we went to the school, like we were definitely like a family, more so than like I feel like other places. And like there's always gonna be that Federal Street connection with people, and I still talk to like some of like our like teachers from back in the day, and like I just remember like we would make these stupid freaking parachutes like for like a parade. I don't know what the parade was for, but we would. Do you remember the parachutes? Like it was like a clothespin, and I just remember we would have like they would just have a bunch of events for us like right outside the school, and I think
it's because the space we were in.
Yeah,
they had to be creative.
Which thank God they were, because like like I still remember the do you know how many times that I freaking ate pizza from Pizza Hut because of the book club? Like book it, bro. I'm sure I didn't read the whole book, but and ChatGPT wasn't out that back then either. But no, there's so many memories, bro. That was a really great. I wish that like our kids had that opportunity now, because I feel like it's a lot bigger. Like I had teachers back in the day that used to pull my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like try that now. You know what I'm saying? Like
we grew up literally, and it's you think about it. Like again, this is 30 years ago, and like.
Don't say it too loud, though, bro.
I know, man. Listen, at this point, I gave in already. Facts. But like, we're like a small fraternity, and I might 806. I like promising things on camera, because like niggas will fucking.
You also gotta speak it into existence.
I want to put something together. I want to do it like a little get together.
Yeah. So somebody mentioned that to me, because I feel like I pretty much talk to everybody that we were in school with, whether they're still here in Salem or not, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. And I think everybody would be so down to do that, bro. And I think that the teachers would be down. And I'm not even talking about 2006. But that's the thing. I'm not even talking about the class of 2006. I'm talking about like Federal Street.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you think about it, is that like now we're talking us. We're talking the people above us. We're talking, because it was just Federal Street. It was that era of Federal Street.
There's a good 6 or 7 years.
It was that era. It was like it was like maybe when we were in second grade, like kindergarten to us, and then from second grade to fifth grade. So it was like that generation, you know what I'm saying? So like if you do that, you know there's going to be people from 2005, 2004. And if you do it, I think you should do it big because I don't think that anybody has planned it. And if you do it, let me know because I'll 100% help you out.
Yeah.
I think that would be dope.
That would be dope. I've definitely like said it on like online before, and people are like, yeah, definitely.
That would be super dope.
That would be dope. With Federal Street. Yeah.
It would be easy too because a lot of the people are.
A lot of us are around the area.
We're still here. There's very little people that are away that are not here that they're always here either for the holidays or for something.
And I think we give a credit to us. We're that close that like high school reunions and stuff is one of those stuff for like people. A lot of people don't want to ever go to. You see it online in the media. People are like, oh, I have to go to their high school reunion. But with us, it's like, nah, we kind of want to see each other. Like, shit, bro. Like, I want to see, like...
You put a Federal Street reunion little invite.
Facebook group invite.
We should really consider that. Like, maybe not this year, like next summer. Because it'll be 20 years. It'll be our 20 years, so it'll be good to, like, to whatever. But we should definitely look into that, bro. I think that would be dope.
That'd be dope. We'll definitely look into it.
That'd be dope.
Well, this has been a great conversation. It's been a long time coming.
Brother, for sure.
We learned a lot of traveling. We learned a lot of shit, man. We went to a lot of different countries. We travel around the world.
We gotta take a trip together too, man.
Man, listen.
We gotta take a trip together. Cuando me apunto to DR with you guys in your trip coming up. I know y'all be having some fun, bro.
Pull up. Y'all be having my girl's brother and his girl just went to DR. So we're supposed to go with them first, but then when like they heard we're going, so the rest of the family wanted to go. They're like, we don't want some big thing, so they just went by themselves. And I was like, you went to DR, but you didn't go to DR with me. I was like, yo, what? You guys drink? I'm like, drink. People think we drink a lot now. Again, Juan knows. People think we drink a lot. Obviously, we've calmed down a lot in the last five years. But yeah, when we get together, we get lit. In DR, bueno, that's our Super Bowl. It's like literally like an all-inclusive.
Wait, but it doesn't take you 24 hours to recover, though?
It takes me longer than that.
Oh, I was going to say, because I'm like, 24, 48 hours to recover.
What's the shit they have now? The little powder shits.
Oh, shit.
What's the little powder shit you put in your drink the next day?
I don't know what it is, but I've had it before.
It's magic. We about to tell us that Jamaica is like literally like...
That shit really works, though.
Bro, it works like magic.
That shit really works.
Damn.
That's funny.
I want to say morning after, but it's not that. Liquid IV.
That's what it is. I've actually had a liquid IV, like an actual IV the next day, and it's amazing.
You can go to like, it's bougie, it's probably expensive, but you can go, like, if you ever hung over, they have bars. They have bars.
Med spas
so you just go there.
And it really works, but I'm just like, damn, like, I just sleep it out.
Yeah, so my cousin's wedding, as you know how you give party favors to, in the party papers was liquid IVs.
Oh,
she knew
smart.
Lit.
Smart.
There's been another Sunday conversation. I'm sure, speaking of hangovers, I'm sure a lot of y'all hungover watching
today.
This. Yeah, like, damn, let's see what
I specifically didn't drink last night so that I could be good today.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, I'm sure it won't be the last time.
My brother, yo, thank you very much. I hope it's not the last time.
Absolutely not.
I hope that from this, like, you got other people that want more questions and stuff like that, and then we have more topics to talk about. But
figure it out.
Always down to come down and come through and hang out with you guys, man.
Yep. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe on YouTube, 806 The Show. You want to tell them where they can find you, any social media, anything you want to plug out?
You guys could find me at KevyKev Worldwide on Instagram. That's usually where I post the majority of my stuff, but I do have a TikTok. That I went into the game a little bit late because I always thought that TikTok was for kids.
This is hard.
I thought TikTok was for kids, and I'm like, damn, we should have been on TikTok. Like, we should have been doing this 10 years ago.
So I've had this podcast, the 806 The Show, our main show. I've had it for like 4 years. I just got on TikTok like last year.
Bro,
and then we had a clip go viral. It'll be the dumbest. I don't understand what it goes viral.
Post.
Like I had a little, I just keep going. 1,000 views here, 1,000 views, 1,000 views, and then all of a sudden, 50K views.
Hey.
You know what I mean? You never know.
Just post. And your YouTube, man. Keep up your YouTube, man. I'm very proud of you, bro, because YouTube, that's where the money's at.
I'm trying.
That's where the money's at, bro. That's where the money's at.
We're getting there. Started as like, this is fun. And then it's just like, wait.
There's something.
You might have something. Now we added the MMA stuff and now Sunday conversations. Heat check. We got a lot of stuff coming from 806 and Vibe Entertainment. So make sure you check out 806. Make sure you check out Uneducated MMA. Make sure you check out Heat Check. We drop whenever. 806 usually on Thursdays. Sunday Conversations obviously on Sundays. But Kev, thank you for coming by. I'm Melly Mel. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.